This is a video to help GE faculty set up essential learning outcomes within their Canvas shell. Many of us have a syllabus wherein we have stipulated certain essential learning outcomes that we wish our students to be able to master. While you may have 2 assigned to your college or to your GE course, and you can choose a 3rd, we want to focus right now on just choosing one essential learning outcome and assessing that essential learning outcome for your course. You may do more than one, but one is our primary focus at this point. So if you go to your Canvas shell, we want to look on the left-hand side where it has the word outcomes. Click on outcomes, and we want to set up our essential learning outcomes here within. So we click the Find button, you click on Account Standards, click on Southern Utah University, and then find the essential learning outcome that you're going to focus on within your course. So for my course, I want them to focus on critical thinking. I then click Import and click OK, and now it is built within my shell. So right now I have civic engagement and critical thinking as essential learning outcomes I'm going to assess in my course. The next step is actually how to assign an assessment to them. So if I go to assignments, you can either use existing assignments and add this as an assessment tool within existing assignments, or I'm going to create a new assignment to allow me to do that. So my new assignment is going to be called ELO Assessment. Now for me, this is not going to be part of the final grade of the course. It's just going to allow me to assess the students, and so they can receive feedback onto the assessment of their level of mastery at each of these ELOs. So I create this assignment, and once I create it, I want to add a rubric to that. So I click on the rubric, I'm going to delete the current rubric, and I'm going to find an outcome criterion. So I'm going to click on this link here, and that's going to set me up with all of the ELOs that I've set up for my course. This assignment, I'm going to assess critical thinking. So I click on critical thinking, I come to the right and click on critical thinking again, and there it's given me my rubric. Now this rubric is designed for us to assess students' mastery of critical thinking. So here is a definition of critical thinking of what it is. This is a definition of a student being fluent in critical thinking. It's up to each faculty to determine what it means to be fluent, proficient, gaining proficiency, competent, or absent for their own course. The focus right now is just that we do this assessment. Later we'll talk about having some type of basis for that assessment. So I click Import, and now I've added a rubric for this assignment. Make sure you publish that assignment, and once it's published, I can then go into SpeedGrader. Now on the left-hand side, I have a student's name, and I have one of the 45 students in my course. So I guess I didn't add that rubric accordingly. So I need to make sure I click on this button, Create Rubric. All right, so now I've created the rubric. All right, and now I can go to SpeedGrader, and now I'll see this button, View Rubric. So for this student, if I view the rubric, I can then just click on the level of mastery the student has achieved. So if this student achieved fluent, then I click fluent, I click Save, and then I go to the next student. I view rubric, I click the accomplishment of that student, and go on then to the next student. And I can do this for all of my students, and that way I have assessed an essential learning outcome for all of my students according to the measurements that general education has asked of us, as well as through my own interpretation of them. That way we can then look at the assessment of each essential learning outcome for the course.